Welcome to the rant room.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rant Room. I am your host, Mike Starks. Ladies and gentlemen, you are tuned into the greatest rant show in all of North America, ladies and gentlemen. The greatest rant show in all of North America.
Ladies
and gentlemen, I have a full show for you guys. Plenty of stuff to rant about. A lot of weird shit going on. Plenty of shit to talk about. Man, let's just get right into it, ladies and gentlemen.
A remote island near Antarctica that is home to mainly penguins, no humans, is now subject to a 10% American tariff. This is not a joke. We are not kidding. These penguins, who do not trade goods or services with the United States, as far as we know, are on the receiving end of a new tax.
Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, that's what's going on. Y'all crazy-ass president has done a worldwide 10% tax, in addition to additional taxes for other countries and stuff like that. But worldwide, 10% tax. A tariff, ladies and gentlemen. So while he's doing the worldwide 10% tariff, he ended up putting a tariff on a remote island near Antarctica, where nobody actually lives. It's just a bunch of penguins. And he doesn't understand geography or how anything works. So he's like, fuck it. This is y'all president, ladies and gentlemen.
Fucking dumbass.
Idiot. So yeah, while he's doing all of this, there's like a whole big old laundry list of like countries he's like giving 10%, 25, 35%, like Vietnam, 47%, all these different percentages of tariffs that he's imposing all these countries that we're getting our goods from and services and everything else. But he's excluding China, Russia, and North Korea because he don't want to smoke with them all. He a bitch.
A bitch.
Yeah. Remote fucking island in the middle of nowhere. He's like, yeah, let's just impose a 10% tariff on that. We don't receive any goods or services.
The penguin's like,
this man had a 10% tariff on an island full of penguins, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just say this. Every fucking day that I tune into like a news podcast or watch the news or anything like that, or just read news articles and shit and hear about the dumb shit that's going on with this administration, I'm just like, I just can't understand. Where the fuck are we? I really feel like we in a fucking SNL skit, or that we are in an episode of Black Mirror or some shit like that.
Where the fuck are we?
This shit can't be fucking real. It's just crazy. Because every time that y'all president, Donald Trump, opens his fucking mouth, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Every time he says something, I'm like, what are you talking about? What do you mean by that? What the fuck are you talking about? But he just continues to say the stupidest, dumbest shit ever. And it irritates me because I know a bunch of dumbasses voted him into office and put him into the place that he's in right now. But y'all chose that over a woman who is educated and overqualified for the position and should have been president. This is what y'all chose instead. And like I said in one of my many other podcasts, is that it doesn't make fucking sense for y'all to get on here after the fact, after he's fucking up everything. Like, y'all feel bad, y'all feel like y'all regret your vote, or you're suddenly now against Trump and this administration and everything else. This is what y'all voted for. Y'all voted for fuckery and foolishness every single week of this fucking administration. Every single fucking week he's doing something. This
bullshit
man at one point he was marketing Teslas on the White House lawn. Motherfucker got to the car and he referred to it as Tesla. Just stupid shit, like stuff we've never had out of presidents ever. This motherfucker is
dumb. It's all computer.
Stupid shit. It gets to the point where a lot of people are just kind of fasting from all of this because we know that every time that we open our news app or tune into a news podcast, whatever, it's going to be another episode of stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? Starring, y'all President Trump. Just some more dumbass shit from this administration. Just stupid shit. And the stupid shit will be there when you get back from your fasting from this. Because, for a while, I was just away from this kind of stuff too for a while. And I came back to it. I'm like, oh yeah, now we're taxing islands full of penguins now. 10% worldwide tariff. Y'all are engaged in a tariff war.
Can't make this shit up.
Stupid shit. The whole situation with Greenland. They want to go ahead and take Greenland away from Denmark. It's just dumb shit. Stupid shit. Just Gulf of Mexico is now the Gulf of America, and he doesn't understand the difference between, Colombia and Colombia when he's talking about renaming, Washington, D.C. District of Columbia. Just stupid shit, just dumb shit day after day after day. This is what y'all chose instead of that educated black woman, Indian grandparent who is overqualified. This is what y'all chose instead of her. That's what is really fucking irritating. Stupid shit. I swear every fucking day you can't make this shit up. But, ladies and gentlemen, there's more to rant about, ladies and gentlemen, before I get to my next thing, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to say that recently we've had a bunch of, protests all over the country and everything else. And I'm happy to say that, for the most part, black people, we started our black ass out of this whole situation.
Hell
on
yeah.
the internet months before this whole thing, saying that they ever had protests, whatever else.
Shit.
It's not our fault, not our fight, not our business. We are not in this shit or whatever else. That is on y'all. We don't want to have nothing to do with any of this shit. Yeah, we voted correctly. We did the right thing or whatever else. Don't look in our direction. Go do what you got to do. And
don't
just recently, between April 3rd and April 5th, there's been a number of protests and everything else. April 5th, there's a big protest all around the country and everything else. And with a lot of videos I've seen and of these protests and everything else, one or two black people here and there, but it has been 99.9% white and white presenting out in these streets out here. Signs and protesting and everything. What I've seen,
yeah, y'all go ahead and protest.
There ain't really none of us out here, but most of us got the message and decided to stay our black ass out of this.
Keep my black ass at home.
Because we all immediately recognized the whole privilege of this whole thing. We're protesting, and there's no police in the streets. You know what I'm saying? There's no National Guard, none of that shit.
We're
they're letting us go out
man.
there and peaceful protest and everything else. But when it comes to us black people, all of us with melanin, we go out there and we protest. All of a sudden, they just assume it's going to get violent, and they bring out the National Guard, and they go out there have the SWAT team ready and all sorts of shit. We're met with hoses and dogs, and we're assumed to be violent, all this type of shit. Like, this protest with all these white people out there, nothing. Absolutely fucking nothing.
Nothing.
And that's one of the things that people on TikTok and stuff like that are pointing out, that we're looking at these videos. We don't even see the police in the background. Just hordes of white people walking around, and they're just protesting and yelling and everything else. Just doing whatever they're doing for the protest. Cool, do your protest. But the thing is that they're not met with any type of people assuming that you're making force to cause problems or anything like that. No police. We're looking in the background. We don't see police cars. Where the fuck are the police cars? Where's all the in case this shit goes left type shit? None of that. Okay. Good thing for us. We stayed at home. We put on Netflix and we chilled. That's what we did. We didn't engage in none of this. We at home with a pizza, watching a movie. We are not in the middle of none of that shit. Cool.
Minding our own black ass business.
Saying stay at home, mind your business, and stay out of that type of shit. Cool. Not our fight. We are not going to be the ones that are going to go ahead and usher in martial law and all that type of shit. We're not involved in none of that shit. So, cool.
I understand that you have been drafted into the Rainbow Army. I don't agree with that at all. But I love you as my child. It will not affect our relationship. But do not ever ask me to co-sign or support something that I am vehemently against. I will not walk you down the aisle if you're marrying a woman. Let me say that one more time. I will not walk you down the aisle if you're marrying a woman. Nor will your wife be allowed in my house. You will be allowed in my house. Your wife will not, because I do not support that lifestyle. I love all African people. I love you as my child. I love all African people. I love you as my child, but I will not co-sign that. Mama Smurf, I can't believe you let our daughter get caught up in that nonsense. Mama Smurf, I cannot believe you allowed our daughter to get caught up in this nonsense. You should have gave me my baby. I'm talking to Mama Smurf.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Umar Johnson has been in the social media news lately.
This nigga.
And everybody's been getting on him about all the stuff they, I guess y'all found out or whatever else. That, okay, he got 2 daughters and, he don't take care of none of them. He ain't raised none of them. And one of them is reaching out to him to be like, hey, I just want to talk to you or whatever else. And I want to be in contact with my other sister or whatever else. they've been pretty much ripping him a new one, talking about he's a deadbeat and a homophobic and all that type of shit. Because his daughter had recently came out as gay and everything else. And as you heard from the clip, he don't approve of that lifestyle. The daughter had mentioned how she wanted her father to walk her down the aisle if she ever get married or whatever else, lifestyle. But I found out what's really crazy about this whole situation is that everybody's getting on him about being a deadbeat. That's not surprising at all. Like, I'm not going to get on him about being a deadbeat and everything else because we all know there's a whole lot of deadbeats. We all know there's a lot of deadbeat dads, especially black community. There's a whole lot of also deadbeat moms that y'all never talk about.
Like a lot of
black community. And we're just not going to get on that. Okay, it's not surprising that, in my opinion, it's not surprising that he is being an absolute hypocrite. I'm trying to get on him too because Dr. Umar Johnson has been fucking weirdo, and like he's been the type of person that you can easily spot is going to be a hypocrite. But people are getting on him saying, okay, well, you haven't seen your daughter in 13, 15, and 20 years, however long. He has not been in this child's life and everything else. He got 2 children out of wedlock and everything else. He's not married to either one of the women who he had
but
children.
But you support that lifestyle.
To me, that sounds about right because he's always very adamant about talking about the nuclear black family and how black women, forever, black queens forever, and snow buddies never, all this type of shit like that. And then like he is not the representative of the people. And people like him never are. You know what I'm saying? These types of hotep niggas, like just not even that. Just people who protest too much about something really are the exact opposite of what they claim that they actually. You get these hotep niggas talking about pro-black this and the black woman this, black woman that, or whatever else, whole time. They're not even with a black woman. They're not married to a black woman. They got kids that they're not taking care of, or they got a white woman at home, whatever it may be. But I'm not surprised. I know some of y'all are surprised that this man is not married.
I'm not surprised.
He's not married to the mother of his children. He got 2 children he ain't never seen. Of course, he's blaming on the woman and saying, hey, look, I should have gave me my mother. Now, you as the mother should have gave me my child. Now, what I think is crazy about all of this is that when all of this came out and the daughter of Dr. Umar Johnson called him, you know what I'm saying? Instead of him being an adult and dropping the bullshit and being mature and being an adult about all this, whatever else, which would have made him look good, he decided to be this cartoonish version of himself. He's already a goofy. To be like, okay, he's referred to one baby mama as Mama Smurf and the other one as an evil vegan, whatever, just stupid shit. And then during the video, he talked about like a championship belt, some stupid ass reason with his own face on it.
The fuck was that
champion
about?
Prince of Pan-Africanism and all this stupid shit. Like, I really wish motherfuckers would just be a fucking adult, especially because you call yourself Dr. Umar Johnson. At
like,
one
be
point,
fucking for real.
Dr. Umar Infantante or Ifatunde or something like that, some sort of African name. And you claim to be this educator and this all of this type of shit, but yet you can't be an adult and you can't be mature about none of this shit. Like, it's just crazy that if you really do have doctrines, that's questionable. That if you do really have doctrines in child psychology and stuff like that, you could actually talk like a fucking adult and stop sounding retarded. Like, people are so shocked that this man is acting like this. Like, but he been weird this entire time. Like, if you ever seen anything with Dr. Umar Johnson in it, or if you ever just seen the clips of him, the videos of him, or whatever he showed up on somebody's podcast or whatever, this nigga been weird. Like, he been saying some pro-back shit and whatever else. I'm not knocking some of the stuff he say, but if you sit there and listen to him, he says truth mixed with falsehood. He says facts mixed with exaggerations and shit like that. Like, the nigga be saying some shit that's real, but then, like, we all know when niggas be saying that shit too much, like, they're not really a part of whatever they say a part of. You know what I'm saying? Like the first question most people should have asked if you're like listening to Dr. Umar when he starts talking about the black nuclear family is, where is your wife? Where's your black wife? And
where's she at?
Black queen so much. Where's your black wife? Where are your kids? Especially when he had this like school for black children that he was supposed to be doing. He collected all that money.
At, Dr.
Umar? Spent all that money. Now he's in debt or whatever else. He never got that school together. Where are your kids? I would ask that. I would definitely ask that type of shit. But, you know what I'm saying? People don't ask that question. They just listen to him, go along with it, and then when some shit gets exposed about it, they're like, oh, whoa, did you know he had kids? 2 daughters he don't take care of, and he calls women black queens or whatever, but your daughters are queens. Your daughters are princesses and future queens. Like, the mothers of your children are queens. Like, why the fuck aren't you taking care of them? Why the fuck aren't you keeping in contact with them? What is the situation?
That sounds about black.
And why aren't you being mature adults about this? Like, even if you got some beef with your baby mamas or whatever else, your daughters, you could have been like, hey, she is trying to reach out to you, whatever else. You could have been reach out to her and let her know, hey, look, here's the situation and whatever, baby. You know what I'm saying? Because in some cases, if a child wasn't raised by their father or whatever, they're not trying to reach out to them. They're not trying to keep in contact with them. They're like, fuck it. And both sides are like, well, that person's not calling me, they're not contacting me, so I don't want to have nothing to do with it. But in this case, you got the daughter who wasn't raised at all by Dr. Umar Johnson and was like, hey, I still want to keep, reach out to you and have a conversation and talk to you and be in contact with my other, my sister and all that type of stuff. And he should just be more adult about that shit. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is, yeah, there are real situations where men are being kept from their children. There really are some crazy baby mamas out there and shit like that.
They exist.
Like I said, it's on the flip side too. There are women out there who are deadbeat moms too, and y'all never gonna talk about any of that shit either. Which is why I'm not getting too much about them deadbeat dad, because there are deadbeat moms. Y'all never bring those situations up either. Who drop their kids off with their auntie, their sister, be leaving with their mama, their grandma, never come back and take care of their kids. That part. What they doing. And yet society just kind of gives it a pass, especially black society. We don't say shit about deadbeat moms. Plenty of those everywhere. So, you know what I'm saying? As far as him being a deadbeat dad, not being around, he has whatever his reasons are for not being in this child's life. However, when he got called out about this shit, be an adult and be more about this shit and talk about it and tell the truth. In one of my previous podcasts that I had talked about man-sized issues. If you go to one of my podcasts, I did an episode called Man-Sized Issues, where I talked about how a real man, you tell on yourself, you out about yourself. You know what I'm saying? If you got aspects of your life that's going on or whatever else, and somebody calls you out on or whatever else, it's better that you tell on yourself and be an adult and be mature about that situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he really should have settled that publicly with people before this came out and said, yeah, out there I have two daughters that I'm not taking care of. Here's the situation or whatever else, instead of this being a whole big clown ass fiasco, because it looks bad. And honestly, people who are in the public eye should be very concerned about optics, how things look. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what people care about the most. Sometimes people don't care too much about the details. They care about how it looks. And you could have made it look better by you being an adult and using more professional terms and just more mature about all the situation. You know what I'm saying? Instead of you being childish and holding a championship belt with your face on it, referring to the baby mama as evil vegan and
all that
baby mama
shit.
Smurf and all this weird ass goofy shit. Like ladies and gentlemen, this man being weird. He been
childish
goofy and weird. Like, I just think like, man, you could tone it down one time. You could just turn that shit off one time. Be serious about your daughter. The next thing is this man. He expressed that he don't support the homosexual lifestyle. He don't LGBT, whatever else. His daughter said that she came out as a lesbian, and she's just thinking ahead, like, hey, if she ever decides she want to get married, why she would want her dad to walk her down the aisle or whatever else, Dr. Umar Johnson, who she don't really have no connection to, I don't know. But if that becomes the case, where they build some sort of relationship, some sort of connection with each other, whatever else, I don't understand why he's acting this way. Because, ladies and gentlemen, even if he is homophobic, even if he don't support that lifestyle, whatever, you're supposed to make an exception for your daughter. You're supposed to make an exception for your child. They grow up, they are the way they are. You know what I'm saying? Even if you don't support that lifestyle with everybody else, that's your daughter. You could have made an exception for her. I know I would have. This young lady was my daughter, and she was telling me, hey, are you going to be there to walk me down the aisle when I go marry this woman or whatever? Oh, yeah, of course I am. That's my daughter. Anybody else is going to get these slurs, but not my daughter. My daughter, I'm going to walk her down the aisle. And then he goes in this whole thing about how your wife is not going to be welcome in my house and everything else, but your daughter is. Stupid. Like I said, you should make an exception for your daughter.
Every time.
You should make an exception for your daughter's choice in life. She chose to marry a woman, whatever it may be, and that's her decision. I would support that. It's not hurting nobody or whatever else. That's it. For everybody else, I can understand if you have that for everybody else. You're like, hey, I don't support your lifestyle, whatever it may be. That's fine. I just wanted to get how you publicly don't make an exception for your daughter. I mean, that looks real bad for Dr. Umar Johnson. So this whole fiasco with this whole thing is so bad. It just makes him look so stupid. This man, like I said, he been a weirdo. He been a level 10 weirdo this entire fucking time. Repeats himself repeatedly as if people care about you. Repeating nonsense over and over. He doesn't approach anything with any type of intelligence, any type of maturity. I'm like,
this nigga is so
stuff you do when I look at clips on social media and you're talking about black nuclear family and everything else. I mean, like I said, if you were on my podcast, I would immediately have asked you a while ago, like, where's your black queen? You're talking about black queen. Where's your black nuclear family? You know what I'm saying? All that type of shit. You want to build a school for kids and black kids and everything? Where are your kids? Let me tell y'all something, ladies and gentlemen. 10 times out of 10, people who constantly profess so much to be against something are the people who are absolutely doing that exact thing behind closed doors. There are radical man-hating feminists out there somewhere in America who are constantly going, men are the problem. And then they go home to a misogynist pig who is blowing her back out. It happens. There are people who are hardcore vegans who are in somebody's face everywhere talking about eating meat is wrong, don't eat animals, blah, blah. They go home and they eat. There's some pastor, some reverend, sort of priest everywhere talking about pray the gay away and LGBTQ lifestyles is wrong, but see, he goes home and gets his back blown out by a guy. Everybody who's out there professing this type of stuff over and over that much is absolutely doing the wrong thing. They're doing the opposite of what the fuck they're preaching. And that should be the first thing that people ask these people as they're going out there doing, like, what proof do you have that you're actually living the lifestyle that you say you're living? Because Dr. Umar Johnson went this long before people didn't realize that, you are living the exact opposite of what you're saying. You're talking about black nuclear family and a mother and a child and unified black families, this and everything else. Like, what part of Pan-Africanism is having children out of wedlock, talking shit about straight mamas, and then not having no connection with your kids unless they, you know what I'm saying, are, I don't know, straight cisgender people or whatever else. Like, what the fuck?
Where's your nuclear family?
I just don't get it. Dr. Umar Johnson, you're doing real bad. You're failing. You're fucking up. Like, all of this could have been saved with a little intelligence. That's him. Like I said, he been weird this entire time. Like I said, he's the type of person he will say truth mixed with falsehood. He'll say some shit that sounds a little bit like bullshit, but it's mixed with some facts in there. Or he'll say something that's factual, but it's exaggerated. Like, and then the whole thing is him calling himself King Kong and Prince of Pan-Africanism. Like, nobody's doing Pan-Africanism, first of all.
Nobody cares.
You'll never see him with no Pan-Africanism nationalist group or anything like that. I haven't. You know what I'm saying? Somebody correct me, but I have not seen him with any other Pan-Africanist nationalist groups or anything. Like, it's just him calling himself the Prince of Pan-Africanism. I don't see him with no other Pan-Africanism. Nobody's doing that shit.
Nobody fuck with him.
I don't see him with no nationalist groups talking about Pan-Africanism and how we can get that going. It's just him. And of course, he's the prince of something that nobody's like gives a fuck about. Nobody's like with that shit. In fact, the red, black, and green flag at this point is just a black American flag. We're not representing Pan-Africanism or shit. Like, he has become incredibly unserious. He's just an internet sensation. And it's just like, all of this could have been saved, but you just
somebody take his phone away from him.
Yourself, talking about this like an adult, dealing with this in a rational way, and fixing this shit. But now, all of this looks fucked up for him.
I'm not gonna lie, DDG a smart dude, but this is probably the dumbest thing I've ever heard today. He said if somebody were to give you $10 million right now, you can't invest it. You cannot spend more than $10 million. All you get is $10 million for the rest of your life. If you spend it all, you're broke for the rest of your life. He said most people that get that money, he said all people that get that money are gonna spend all that $10 million. What? I'm not gonna lie to you, DDG. It's a lot of people out here that don't even spend $1 a day. It's a lot of people out here with millions that don't spend money at all. It's a lot of people out here that don't spend nothing for no reason. I know it's going to be some people out there that's going to be spending that $10 million, but if you never seen them ultimate max prestige level 10,000 penny pinchers, you wouldn't understand. I'm not going to lie, give me that $10 million. I'm making that stretch until I'm in the you feel me? I'm making that stretch till I'm up there. You feel me? I'm not going to lie, $10 million? All I gotta do is spend at least $200K for 50 years. I'm straight. I'm chilling.
Exactly.
I'm good. I'm not about to be out here trying to buy Lambos and do all this. No, I'm chilling. I'm living my regular life. Make sure I got a modest crib, modest car, and I'm living comfortably. I just want to be free in this bitch.
That part.
Absolutely, Jay, ladies and gentlemen. Question is, if you give a man $10 million, the average man $10 million, but this whole discussion was on social media, it was on TikTok where they were talking about this. Everybody's asking this question like, hey, you give the average person $10 million, what do you think to do? Some people were saying this person will spend all that shit or whatever. Other people were like, nah. My look on this whole thing is I really think that there are going to be a few people that if you give the average person $10 million with a lottery or some shit like that, yeah, they're going to blow through that money because they've never had nothing. So they're going to buy all the shit that they never got to have, all the things they ever dreamed of. They're going to go out there and buy a ton of shit. You know what I'm saying? They're going to take that money. Actually, some millionaires, some people who win the lotteries and shit go back to being broke because they just blow through that shit.
That's
I think on average, most people, if you are just an average 9-to-5 worker, you ain't never had money like that, you're going to save that shit, because really all you want to do is be free. You want to be free of getting up and going to work and working 5-6 days a week and all that type of shit.
Being
and
a corporate slave.
Paycheck and all that type of shit. So most people, if they had a $10 million, they're going to stretch that $10 million for as long as they can. Self-included. If me, myself, if I ever to win $100 million or whatever, that $100 million, I'm going to stretch it for the rest of my fucking life. Like, what the fuck I look like buying all this expensive ass shit? For what? Like he said in the clip, modest car, modest crib, just want to live comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like most of us, we have never been able to live comfortably as an adult. We are always feeling like we got to constantly we got to get up, we got to work all the time.
Every time.
Excuse me. And we got to constantly be concerned about like paying our bills, paying all this, whatever else. If most of us were to get $100 million or $10 million, whatever it may be, or whatever else, and we know that, you know what I'm saying, we've been making it on $50,000 or $60,000 a year, or whatever else, you've been getting by on that or whatever else. If you got $10 million, most people are going to make that shit stretch. I personally think it's going to be very few people, minority amount of people, when they get all that money, they ain't never had nothing, they're going to go buy expensive chains and Ferraris and a bunch of other bullshit.
Dumbass shit.
And I'm going back broke. But most people, if you know what I'm saying, if they got $100 million, they got $10 million, whatever else.
Man, give me $10 million. I'll show you how to spend it.
You know what I'm saying? Especially because if you come from a state of not spending money, like he said, most people are not spending $10 a day. You know what I'm saying? We're not spending money we don't have to spend. Excuse me. So I just don't think people are going to be blowing through shit. Like, people go ahead and take care of their responsibilities, buy a modest house, buy a car, whatever else. Every once in a while, they might buy something nice. I know I would. You know what I'm saying? A couple of things I buy nice here and there, but I'm saying I got to think of the long run. And the long run is that I want to make sure that I'm just comfortable. Most people are not comfortable. Most people who have to work are not comfortable. That panic of, I have to get up and go to my job. I have to make sure rent, bill, everything. If you have $100 million, you're not in that mode. And I just really think that if the question is that, okay, people think most people get $100 million or $10 million maybe, they're just going to blow through it. I disagree. I really don't. I disagree that people are going to blow through $10 million. And I really should conduct a survey because, you know, people have been talking about this and I really think survey, but I really think that if that was the situation, somebody got $100 million, I really don't see them going ahead and spending it on a bunch of shit that could make them go right back to being broke.
Nah, I just want to be free.
They just want to get that money and make sure that they don't have to constantly be concerned about finances, money, and have to be worried about, you know what I'm saying, their family members, their beloved people that they care about in their life, their finances, their money, whatever. They take care of them. They look out for them, make sure their mom is straight, dad is straight, or their kids are straight, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? If you had $10 million, like, you stretch that and make that work. Or even if it's just for yourself, if it's just you and your spouse. You just, you know what I'm saying, a father and your kids or a mother and your kids or whatever else. Like, you give the average person $10 million, they will make that work fast time. The average person go ahead and go buy gold chains and big cars, you know what I'm saying, like mansions type of shit. I just don't see it happen.
Nope.
I think that for one, a lot of people deep down, if they got a whole lot of money all of a sudden, would probably fear going back to be broke. And I mean functionally, bro. You have a job, you have money, pay your bills and shit like that, but you don't have extra money. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people in America are functionally broke. You pay your bills and shit, but like, you don't have money to blow out with. You know what I'm saying? Your money in your savings is the rest of your life right there. Like, that's it. You know what I'm saying? So I think if people got to the point where they had suddenly $100 million, they're like, we can't blow through this. We're right back in the same way we were in before.
Exactly.
We're living paycheck to paycheck. We're worried that once that savings goes or whatever, that's it. We're fucked if we blow through our savings. You know what I'm saying? Or we miss a paycheck or whatever it may be. Like, people do not want to go back to that. And I think that's what happens a lot of times when people get famous, they get money or whatever else. Like, there's that panic to keep trying to do whatever they were doing to make that money. If they were athletes, if they were trainers, whatever it may be, keep bringing some money in because they don't want to go back to being broke because they were broke with paycheck to paycheck. You know, they will get out there and do practically whatever it is to keep that money coming. And they will simply escalate whatever it may be to go ahead to keep money coming because they're like, I can't go back to working a regular job and paychecks and that shit. So I really don't think people are going to go and blow through money. I don't care what the amount, 5 million, 10 million, 100 million, whatever it may be. People are not going to blow through it and give them Elon Musk money. I don't think people would do that either. People would make sure that they would live off that money for the rest of their fucking life. They're not going to blow through it and go back to being broke. They don't even want to be close to broke. I just don't see it.
Don't rush being grown. Overrated. If I had to rate being an adult, if I could go on the internet and write a comment to rate my experience as an adult, I would give it 1 star. My comment would be very bad, would not recommend. On the phone, you don't want these problems. Do you know when you become an adult, you do not get to do what you want to do? You do not get to go where you want to go? I think it's a misconception. When I get grown, I can do whatever I want to do. No, you can't. You can do whatever you can afford to do. Number one. Number two, especially once you have kids, you do whatever your kids allow you to do. But that's your responsibility. Plus, you got to pay for a place to stay. In Arkansas, that's between $900 and $2,000 a month. Getting a car, that's between $300 and $500 a month. Car insurance, that's about $250 a month. We still hadn't got a haircut, hadn't got our hair done, hadn't bought a new pair of shoes, haven't gone out, hadn't had a good time, haven't gone to the comedy show, haven't gone to the basketball game, haven't done any of that. It's overrated. I would advise you to enjoy being a child, enjoy being a teenager. Why? Why do I say that? Because you have 70 years to be an adult. From age 18 all the way to 88. You live to be 88 years old. That's 70 years that you're going to be an adult. You're only going to be a child for 17 years. I want to encourage you to embrace being a child.
Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen. A child should stay in a child's place for as long as possible, ladies. I know y'all can't see this video, but in this video, this man has a room full of what looks like middle school kids, and he is lecturing them, giving them a whole TED talk about staying in a child's place for as long as possible. He's explaining to them that once you become an adult for the next 7 years, you are an adult. You have to deal with adult issues, adult problems, and everything else, like stay house place. I would not recommend it. I actually love this video. I really think that as many adults as possible should take children and let them know, hey, I wouldn't recommend being like, don't be in a rush to being a fucking adult or be around adults, do adult things, whatever else. Be a child, do childish shit for as long as possible. Because being an adult sucks. I really think that more adults need to have booklets, TED Talks, whole dissertations to middle school and like high school kids and let them know like being an adult sucks. Like stay in a child.
What you in a hurry for?
And, like being an adult is way overrated. Like this is brilliant. I know he's talking to these young kids and letting them know that hey,
adult shit is not cool.
Being an adult is not where it's at. Like, but it just seems like, you know, it is a lot of young people who really are in a rush to be an adult. They want to go and they think being an adult is cool. You get to do whatever you want. And like he says, Flip, no, you don't get to do whatever the fuck you want. You get to do what you're allowed to do. You know what I'm saying? If you have enough money, if you have enough time, you know what I'm saying? That type of thing. Being an adult is severely overrated. You know, I think that we need to emphasize that and stress that as much as possible. Young people, you don't want to grow up and be an adult. You know what I'm saying? Some young people maybe get into the pre-teen ages, they start thinking about what they want to do with their future and everything else. Like, don't worry about it. You've got the rest of your life to be dealing with it. And I know some parents, they want to prepare their kids for adulthood at such a young age, you know, but at the same time, putting that into a kid's head that you can prepare to be an adult, prepare to be an adult and everything, like, it takes them off of being a child. And they're going to get to a certain point where it's like at an early age, 13, 14, 15, they're going to start thinking, okay, I want to start being an adult and do adult things. But skip those last few years of being child's place. Any adult that you ask right now who has been dealing with adult, they're in their 30, they're 35, 45, 55, whatever else, they would love to go back to being child's place. Love to go back to preteen or whatever. They really wish they had to listen to these lectures and people telling them, hey, look, stay in a child's place. I just think that needs to be a trend. That needs to be a definite trend.
Send me back to being a child right now.
Have us to rate being an adult like he did. And here he rated being an adult 1 star. Would not reject the rating. He talked about how bad being an adult is. That you're constantly dealing with money issues or you're dealing with whatever. Society and the law assumes that once you get 18 and older, you're responsible for your adult. You make adult decisions. You're legally able to do certain things. At 21, you're even more legal to be able to do certain things. You know what I'm saying? Join the military and, you know, vote and things like that, whatever else. But it's just like never be in a rush to be all of us. We need to explain as much as possible to children in our lives, in our family, that, hey, enjoy being a child. You'll never get to enjoy this much of being, like you said in the clip, you get to be a child for 17 years, you get to be an adult for 70 fucking. You'll be dealing with being an adult for the rest of your life. You never get to go back. There's no rush. Chill out. Be 13 if you're 13. Just be a kid. And parents, let them be a kid. Let them be a kid and do kid stuff. They want to sit around and play video games and whatever. Let them be a fucking kid. Don't be like, hey, you got to prepare for your future and blah, 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 and everything else. Man, setting up all these things into their heads and thinking that you got to focus on when you become an adult and everything else. No, let them be a kid. You never get to go back. You never get to do this kid shit ever.
You never do.
And I think some parents, I guess they didn't get to enjoy their childhood, and I guess that sometimes get passed down where you have parents who are like, they will try to ruin childhood for their kids and try to explain to them, hey,
That's what it is.
Prepare for the future, prepare to be an adult and everything else. And children miss a lot of their years of being a child. I think parents need to stop doing it. However your childhood was, if it was messed up, if it was short or whatever it may be, give your children the chance to be a child. They're going to be an adult for the rest of their life.
So what's your take?
Bring back segregation.
100% disagree.
I want to know where I'm not welcome. Put them signs back up. Colors only, whites only. Let's do it. Rip the Band-Aid off. Especially for a restaurant. Are you kidding me? Whites only? What do I want to do in there? What they got? Mashed potatoes, mayonnaise, hot dog. Colors only. We got seasoning. Turmeric. Paprika.
Okay, I like this.
Colored excellent.
Okay.
Okay. What's the playlist in the whites only spot? They playing Carrie Underwood and Kid Rock. We playing Babyface and Diggable Planets.
Ladies and gentlemen, talks of segregation, ladies and gentlemen. As y'all know, y'all President Trump has signed into law that he wants to be like segregation on a federal level with the federal workers and everything else. But inevitably, he wants to make segregation like all the way across the United States, signing racism into law. He wants to make it perfectly fucking legal. And so black people all over social media and the internet have been like, yeah, we're cool with that. First of all, we're already segregated, included in shit anyway.
Already.
But also, like, yeah, we prefer that because y'all are some toxic individuals, not want to be included or integrated to whatever the fuck y'all doing anyway. So cool, put the signs up. Let us know where the racism is. We will avoid the whites only, whatever it may be, because that's where the racism is. A lot of black people are like, cool, we definitely want to go back to put the signs up, have everything separated. Y'all are some toxic individuals. We don't want to boot it. We don't want to shit. Cool. We also have some black people who are just like, no, they don't want to be segregated. They think that that's going to be a bad thing. Excuse me. My opinion is that integration has been one of the worst things that's ever happened. Like, I understand that during segregation, we have had building structures, neighborhoods burnt to the fucking ground. We've had constant problems during segregation too, but we also had it better during segregation as far as the black family and interactions of, each other as black people and people of color. I think black people and people of color, we're just ready to go back to shit. We are absolutely tired because we don't feel integrated. We don't feel like this is a melting pot of country. None of that shit. So we're like, cool, we'll put up the signs, say black only, brown only, white only, whatever it may be, so we could just avoid y'all altogether and not deal with y'all. I think for the most part in America, there's a lot of places where we're segregated anyway. The Midwest, Illinois, Wisconsin, the states in the Midwest where I'm from, like, these motherfuckers are already extremely segregated anyway. Very segregated state. We are not inclusive. We are not integrated. None of that shit.
Exactly.
Whole cities within, the states are just completely segregated from everything else. We are not integrated. It wouldn't be nothing for us to be completely segregated either. Give us a chance to go ahead and do our own thing anyhow. I know we're all being fun with this too. We're being like, well, we don't want to go to y'all restaurants anyhow. We weren't doing that in the first place. But if y'all put signs up, we know where the racism is and we walk with y'all. Y'all put up something that says, okay, whites only.
Put the signs up.
And we'll put up our signs so we know where y'all are not welcome too. Because I've seen too, because like can't wait up signs, people know where y'all are not welcome either. You know what I'm saying? And for the most part, with the videos that I've seen of black people making our little funny videos of where non-black people are not welcome, it's just y'all white people. We've just been saying y'all not welcome, and a few Dominicans, because we know we take jabs at everybody, all the I know black, I'm Dominican, all that type of shit or whatever. But yeah, once they start up the integration thing or whatever else, and they start putting up signs or whatever else, and y'all go over there and they say no, whites only. You go, no, I'm no black. I know black. Okay, cool. You turn around, come over to us or whatever else. You're no black. You're not black. You know what I'm saying? Where you gonna go there? Everything's being divvied up and segregated between black and white. You know what I'm saying? Whites only this, blacks only that. Where you gonna go? So other than that, you know what I'm saying? Black people have been reasonably cool with all that shit. We are absolutely cool with everything going back to section because integration has not been working for any of us. This shit has started. It has not been working for any of us. None of us people of color are cool with integration, especially as black people. We have felt the most segregated, you know what I'm saying, in our own country than anybody else. Like, we're absolutely cool with going back to more formalized segregation. We're cool. Put signs up, let us know where we don't fuck with y'all and everything. And I think since this presidency has occurred and everything else, a lot of us, we really want like open, blatant racism, because we so tired of everybody just playing in our face, pretending like you're not racist, that type of shit. We would much rather deal with y'all just being openly saying what it is. Some of y'all just play like y'all have turned DEI into a slur and affirmative action into a slur and everything. It's just say the word nigga, so we know who we're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Just be open about this type of shit. Just put up the sign, says a white-owned institution, whatever it may be. You know what I'm saying? Like, just be open and be fucking for real about the shit.
Like,
a lot of people are not being fucking
real.
real about this shit. And I think that's what people don't seem to understand about black people. We would prefer you being open and for real about y'all racism rather than y'all playing around like we some little ass kids or something. There's so many things y'all fuck around about. That we've had several movies where we've had a black lead character or whatever else, and white people making up every fucking excuse instead of just saying you don't like black people. You know what I'm saying? Y'all mad because there's a black lead a woman playing a mermaid movie or whatever else. And y'all make up all sorts of reasons why you don't like this movie. But the thing is, you don't like black people. Just say that shit. You know?
Just say that
and that's
shit.
what we want for everything else. Just say that shit. Put up signs, white only this, can't go here, can't go there. Cool. Don't fuck with y'all.
13-year-old Latrell Taft beyond excited to wear his new birthday present to school on Tuesday, a t-shirt reading Black King.
I'm a king because I think I'm a king.
But Latrell says during science class at Heartland Middle School, his teacher abruptly changing the subject from the periodic table to asking what his shirt said.
She said that if she had a shirt that said white queen, it would have been racist. Then that's when she said, like, we need a white history month. And I said, black people don't have enough recognition, and we barely learn about black people, like, in February at my school, so.
Latrell telling News 4 the majority of his class siding with the teacher.
And I was like embarrassed.
Latrell's mom, Melissa Shirley, immediately calling the school.
Initially, to be honest, I was brushed off.
24 hours later, an investigation underway. EPS releasing a statement to News 4 saying, if it's determined that the student was the target of discrimination, bullying, or racism, appropriate and swift action will be taken.
First and foremost, it was the white teacher. It's always a white teacher. It's never an Asian teacher. Shit. It's never a Hispanic teacher, ever any type of shit. Because in the news, whenever a black student has dreadlocks and they have to have their hair cut for sports, or the hair is considered violating school dress code, or you can't wear a head wrap, a gele, you can't wear none of that shit, or they have a problem, it's always a white woman. Always a white person. So here in this story, even if you can't see the video, you automatically know what the situation. Black kid came there just being himself, and his mother gave him a shirt that said Black King. He's showing some sort of pride in himself and his culture and things like that. And and in this case, it's a little black boy, but it could have been anybody. It could have been a Puerto Rican kid, an Asian kid, whatever else, and same situation. You know what I'm saying? And I really hate when white people try to reverse this shit and be like, well, what if white people did this? What if white people did that? White people, you have done that. It's fucking weird that y'all be saying, what if white people do this or do that? What if I wore a white queen shirt? Would it be racist? Nobody cares if you're white and you're wearing a white queen shirt. Nobody cares if you're white and you're wearing a white king shirt. We don't care. What you wear, it has nothing to do with us. Wear what the fuck you want to wear. I really don't understand it. I've seen it online too. Whenever black people want something just for ourselves, it'll be like black women having like a black woman only follow back type of thing on social media, where they're just sending videos to each other, following each other, whatever else. Here come white women mad talking about, well, what if white women did? What if we said only white women? What if only white women can follow each other? Whatever. We're like, go fucking do that shit.
Oh, do that shit, bitch.
What do you mean? What if you're already doing it? Somebody out there is out there already doing it. Just fucking do it. That's why when a story like this happens, I automatically know it's a white one. I already know it's white people. Excuse me. And I already know this kid go to a predominantly white school. So I can get away with that shit. So she can say that shit and get away with it. You already know. For one, get this woman fired. And if she's not getting fired, sue the school. Or most importantly, take your kid out of that school. Take her to a predominantly integrated school. You know what I'm saying? With better teachers. Preferably some teachers of color. Because like I said, this is always a white person. Always somebody white.
Every time.
Wearing something that they view to be culturally inappropriate or whatever it may be. You can't wear that shirt that says Black King. You can't wear a head wrap. Can't, you know what I'm saying, style your hair and the thing of your culture or whatever else. Like, that's always in the news because somebody white is offended by the look of black versus pride in their culture. And if it ain't one of us, it's another person of color that white people have a problem with. They want you to water down, dumb down, or suppress how you look and how you dress and how you act to make them feel comfortable. And while the mother's sitting there wondering, okay, is the school board going to do something about this racist ass teacher or whatever else, take your kid somewhere else. Fuck them damn teachers. You're going to interrupt class to tell my son that you shouldn't be wearing a Black King t-shirt. My Black King t-shirt on my son has nothing to do with you. Go teach your fucking class, do your fucking job.
Exactly.
This woman took it better than I would. Because, you know what I'm saying, I definitely went all the way the fuck last week. I would put up there like, seriously, for real? Like, Cussed her clean the fuck out and took my son up out there. I'm like, well, what if we had a White History Month? Didn't have a fucking White History Month. The fuck does that have to do with anything? Crazy shit.
I have a very serious question for Caucasian people, and I'm not even being funny. I'm not even being funny. White people, please listen up. Is it like against the rules for white people to say excuse me? Like, that's really a question. Can y'all please answer me? Because I'm in Whole Foods earlier, right? And this lady, she scoots my cart back a little bit to get by. And you know what I did? I accidentally rammed that bitch in her foot. Because what the fuck you mean you gonna scoot my cart, baby? Just say excuse me. It's 2 words. That ain't gonna work over here. That is not gonna work. And she said, oh my God. I said, yeah. Let's try again. Let's try again, boo. Let's try again. Like, now I have to be the angry black woman because y'all don't know simple manners. Like, now if I cuss you out, I'm the irate bitch. But it's the little shit for me. Just say excuse me. Don't move my motherfucking cart. The fuck? Like, that bitch really expected me to move out of her way, and that was never going to happen. Like, that was never going to happen. I literally knew she was about to do this shit. You can literally look at a white person and tell they're not about to say excuse me, and I will stand right there until you say it. And then they will reach around you to get, bitch, don't ever do that. Don't. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Ladies and gentlemen, me and a lot of other black people have made a lot of content talking about white women's lack of manners. Y'all get in public and y'all do all sorts of shit. I've talked about in previous podcasts where there have been black people who have made videos talking about, hey, I was in a grocery store, I was holding my items in my arms. A white woman in front of me turned around, grabbed my items out of my hand, and was reading the label. And when the black woman said, hey, what the fuck are you doing? She's like, oh, I was thinking about getting that item back there. I just didn't get a chance to look at the label. I'm just checking it out. Black woman says, you just gonna take a shit up out of my hands? Just like that? You rude motherfucker. And then, as a black person, if we bop the fuck out of them for doing stupid shit like that, we're the aggressive, angry black person because we're doing that shit. But they do that shit. White women will literally reach over you and be fucking rude. Don't say excuse me, whatever it may be. Just walk right in front of you. Motherfuckers will reach in your fucking car at the grocery store. All types of weird ass shit. I'm just like, yo, that's the shit I be talking about. It's like, is that a thing in y'all culture where y'all just don't have manners, or y'all just, I mean, y'all gonna get a lot of ass whoopings because of that shit. That's just fucking crazy. And it's not just white people. It's also been a couple other people too. I've seen videos where black content creators have said, yeah, this stuff happens sometimes with Asians and East Indians and stuff like that, where, you know what I'm saying, they'll be rude too, and they're just like reaching over you or moving your cart when you're in the stores or whatever it may be. And it's just like they seem to have manners only with their own people. And they might be, you know, have some manners with white people, whatever else, but it's just like when it comes to black people, it's like, we don't have to show those people any respect. They're Negroes. Stupid shit like that. And then we got to go ahead and we look like the angry, aggressive black person because we want to demand the same amount of respect you giving everybody else. Because you just walked past or and bumped into us or whatever it may be. You were reaching over us. You took our items out of our cart to look at. All this type of little disrespectful shit. Like, you don't have manners and you know what I'm saying, any of that type of shit when it comes to us. Black people start charging for that shit. People do that type of shit, bop the shit out of them. They already think we're going to be aggressive but we're the angry black woman and black man anyways. Just go ahead and do it. They reaching and over you, grab somebody your cart or whatever else, do a shit right back to them. They look at you crazy, look at them crazy. You're like, what are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? What are we doing? Are we doing this right now? Are we finna fight right now? What are we doing? Like, motherfuckers look at you fucking crazy. That's why I brought up the incidents where I was talking about in a previous podcast about the woman who had the items taken out of her hands at a grocery store. Whole situation where I would have knocked somebody the fuck out. Are you fucking crazy? You gonna take my items up out of my hand that I'm holding? Nope. You know that's inappropriate. You don't give a fuck because you're doing it to a black person.
Dear black people, if my video finds its way to your timeline and you don't have a problem with people that look like me, how do you manage? Like, what's your secret? We are objectively horrible. I don't like us. Like, I don't trust us one bit, right? I've got so much residual anger from crap they pulled. Like, I can barely get to a conversation without wanting to slap a motherfucker. Like, if I was black, Exactly. I'd have all the same anger, but, you know, I'd have 400 years of receipts to justify it. Right? Like, how's it going, TJ? How's it going? How's it going? How is Black Wall Street going, Cracker? And I'd say it like that with a hard R. I would be a menace for real. Like, I would probably be dead or in jail already. Anyhow, I'm all right. We should be friends, but I can't speak for the rest of these assholes. Take your chances.
I see quite a few videos since this election started and everything else of white people saying they can't stand. As a white person, they find other white people to be objectively horrible, and they're like, I completely understand that If I was black, I would be knocking white people out right now. Like, I've seen quite a few videos of these white people being like, man, how do you tolerate white folks? I can't stand it, and I'm white.
Serious question.
I'm just like, which gets on my nerves whenever somebody black is like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're a sellout, they're a coon, they're like, oh, whatever white people do, you're just cool with that shit or whatever else, because white people can't stand white people. It's a lot of white people who want to sock the shit out of other white people because of the stupid shit they did. And they completely understand when black people, like he said, have 400 years of receipts behind everything that we're saying, you know what I'm saying, about what we're going to do. It's just like, oh my goodness.
They don't even like themselves.
They don't even like their own.
How the fuck do you like them?
We're supposed to be like liking them to the point where we're like, yeah, fucking crazy. I've seen other videos where there are other white people saying the same thing, that they view white people as being like ignorant, objectively horrible people, and basically just untrustworthy. There are a lot of white people who say, I don't even trust other white people. Like, I don't understand how black people trust any white person, let alone, like, I completely get it. How do you not have a problem with white people? I have a problem with them, and I'm white. Like, that is a mystery to me. I really don't understand how some of y'all are just like, y'all immediately trust white people. Like, I said in one of my previous podcasts, like, how history works is that, okay, like I said, basically when it comes to anything, if a person's history needs to be a factor into how you interact with that person. Person has a long criminal history or whatever else, you got to look at that and factor it in how you deal with it. If the person has a bad rental history, people factor that in. If people have financial history problems, people have relationship history problems, whatever, people factor history in. So when black people have white people who have the longest criminal history in the world, of course we're going to be looking at you like, I don't even know how you get along with them like that. White people don't want to get along with them. They can switch. Some of these white people, like these people in these videos, if they can switch teams, they would. I seen one video where this woman was in a hotel. There was a white woman with blonde hair. She was walking past a white woman who was doing her Karen shit, being racist to a black person. She walked right up and slapped the shit out of her. She was not even in this thing. She walked past this other white woman being racist. She slapped the shit out of her and told her, we are not doing this. I am sick and tired of your shit. She wasn't even in it. It was a video. It was up on the, it was in a hotel lobby, and on one of the, I guess the cameras or whatever else caught this. White woman coming out of the elevator, walking past, and she overheard another white woman being racist to a black woman, saying silly ass shit to her. And before the black woman could react, she walked over and slapped the shit out of this white woman and told her and was yelling at her, saying, we are not fucking doing it. I'm sick and tired of this shit. And she was ready to beat this woman's ass because she's tired of this shit. She's sick and tired of it. She went over to this woman and slapped that shit out of her. I seen another one at a DMV. White woman and a black woman are getting into an argument. Black woman's taking her slides off. She's taking her house shoes off. I guess she had like some indoor shoes or whatever else she had on. She had the DMV or whatever. She took her slides off. She was ready to fight with this woman at the DMV or whatever. Another white woman walked over there and she started fighting with the white woman. She's like, we have got to stop this shit. She know that shit was going to go left. She went over there, had a problem with this white woman because she knew that white woman was wrong, and she was arguing, talking shit, causing problems or whatever else. And it does happen on rare occasions. White people are just like, I'm tired of the shit because they know we can't tell the difference. We see y'all all, we're like, okay, y'all all are the same. If y'all don't do shit like that, y'all don't stand up and stand out or check another white person when they're doing stupid shit like that, you're all the same. But there have been instances of that, of white people slapping the shit out of other white people, just being like, look, we're not doing that. There's another video from a restaurant that I had seen. Everybody's at this restaurant trying to have a good time or whatever else, and I guess somebody at another table was being fucking racist, making racist jokes or whatever else. A white guy sitting at a table hearing this shit or whatever else starts checking this white guy about that shit. He's like, yo, get the fuck out of here. We're trying to have a good time. We're trying to eat. We're not on none of that shit or whatever else. He was checking this other white guy. He was like, look, you bothering them. You see this black family's over here trying to eat or whatever else. Here you are starting your shit. And it became a whole argument between that white guy sitting at a table near this other white guy who was talking shit to this black family. There was a whole video of this shit because the black family started recording this shit because they were being harassed, being bothered at a fucking restaurant where they're just there trying to eat. And they're right across from this white guy who was talking shit to them, being racist or whatever. Another white guy at another table, his wife, cussed him the fuck out. That's what you gotta do. That's what you gotta do.
That's what you gotta do. You better say something.
Y'all do know we die at the end of this, right? It don't matter what your race is, how much money you got, if you single, if you married, if you got kids, if you don't got kids, all of the stuff y'all be judging each other for. Y'all die at the end of this. Live your life.
She's absolutely right. We all die at the end of this. Ladies and gentlemen, none of us know how long we have to live, whatever else, and we were more concerned with our mortality We would be more concerned about getting out here and living life and enjoying our own life and enjoying our own life and going out there and doing things for ourselves instead of worrying about what somebody else is doing with their lives. That's what we need to be doing. Worry about ourselves, having a good time, because we all got a shot clock above our head. We don't know how long we're going to live. We might live another week, we might live another 2 years, another 10 years, another 40 years. No, but we all die at the end. And if we all knew how long we had to live, whatever, we start to realize how trivial and stupid shit is that we get around here and argue about and fight about and separate each other from and all this type of goofy ass shit or whatever else. If we realize that, hey, I only have another 10 years to live, maybe I should be focusing on, you know what I'm saying, getting my shit together, having fun and, you know, making some money or do whatever I got to do, or you have some good times with my wife or have good times out here with my kids or whatever else and do that or whatever. Like, I think people need to adopt a mentality that you are terminally ill. Sounds crazy, but I think that's what people do. Because from everything I know about instances of, even in movies where they made it up, or even in real life where people are terminally ill, if this person tells you have 6 to 8 months to live or whatever else, people go out there and they just do whatever they want to do because they know this is the it. It's the curtain call. It's about to be it. And I think if people adopted the mentality of, you know what I'm saying, if I were terminally ill, somebody said, hey, you only have 2 years left to live, whatever else, what are you going to do? People would get their shit together. They'd be like, hey, I've always wanted to go do this, do that. You wouldn't sit here and be worried about somebody's gender identity, somebody's race, any of that goofy shit. You wouldn't care about that shit. You'd be like, hey, I need to like enjoy my last 2 years of my life. That's
exactly
that part. And I think people need to adopt that mentality, because if we all believe that we were terminally ill and that we're going to die in a couple months or years or whatever else, we would be more focused on what do we want to accomplish in our lives rather than worrying about what somebody's skin looks like or what somebody's gender is and all this other stupid shit that we worry about, what somebody's politics is, all that goofy ass shit. And I think that's what people need to do. What do you want to do with your life? What do you want to be your legacy after you pass away? Y'all need to start thinking like you are terminally ill. Just for real. Wake up every morning, pretend you're terminally ill and you only got 9 months to live. What are you trying to get done? What do you want to do with your life? Just think about that for a second. Your doctor gave you a diagnosis and said, hey, you only got 9 months to a year to live. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, wouldn't your whole perspective on life change? Wouldn't you think that some of the stuff that you sit around here and be upset about and argue about and everything else be petty and insignificant and unimportant and just as stupid as shit or whatever? You would want to go do something that gives your life meaning, because you know you only got 9 months to a year to live. And I think people need to adopt that mentality of you're terminally ill. You need to start thinking like that. What if you were terminally ill? Because if you believe that you were terminally ill, you want to go do something with the rest of your short amount of life. And it would not include being a bigot or a racist or a homophobe or whatever it may be. You would just simply go live your life and be like, oh man, I've always wanted to write the first 6 chapters of my book or whatever. I wanted to go to SeaWorld or whatever you wanted to fucking go do with your life. I wanted to do this, I wanted to do that. You would just go fucking do that and enjoy your life, because you know you only got 9 months to live.
Enjoy your life.
That's the mentality people need to start having. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been my show. I'm going to go back over a few things, ladies and gentlemen, because a few things need to be reiterated, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get it. Ladies and gentlemen, penguins are being tariffed, ladies and gentlemen, because your dumbass president had a worldwide tariff on incoming goods from other countries and everything else, and he didn't bother to find out that there was a little small island that he tariffed in the middle of Antarctica, where
middle of nowhere.
There, nobody lives there, but he don't give a fuck. And while he's trying to sound like a badass by going ahead and giving all these tariffs to different countries, whatever, he conveniently avoided China, Russia, and North Korea as of the date of this report. Because some people are saying there was a small tariff on China or whatever else, but I think he's avoiding fucking with major countries that can fuck him up.
Because he's a bitch.
Because as far as I know, there has been no tariff on Russia or North Korea and China, other than the original tariff that he originally had since he first been in office as president. He hasn't had no tariffs on China or whatever. He's a bitch. He's just like, I'm going to avoid certain countries and just give the rest of the people these tariffs and shit like that. Your president doesn't understand how tariffs work. He is tearing up the fucking economy. Like I said in previous podcasts, this man wants to explode everything in this country, burn everything to the ground, and walk away from an explosion behind him. He doesn't give a fuck. He's destroying everything. He doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't care. This is y'all dumbass president that y'all chose over that black woman with the Indian grandparent. An educated and overqualified black woman with Indian grandparents. Y'all said no to her, but y'all chose this motherfucker who says Tesla, who is trying to sell Teslas on the lawn.
Fucking Tesla.
I mean, just stupid shit. Like every fucking day is something stupid going on with this president.
Every
this is
fucking
so
day.
Real. No, it's so unserious. Unbelievable. Next thing, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Umar Johnson is a deadbeat homophobic hotep. We all knew he was incredibly unserious before all this shit came out here, dude. He just was weird. He's referring to himself as King Kong and saying he's the prince of Pan-Africanism, but like nobody gives a fuck about Pan-Africanism or that type of shit. Just weird shit. We're trying to have a serious, you know what I'm saying? He's trying to make a serious video, but he's still referring to his baby mama as Mama Smurf and evil vegan while holding a WWE championship belt with his face on it as the champion of Pan-Africanism, which nobody is doing. It's like goofy shit. So your daughter comes out as being homosexual. She, for some reason, wants a relationship with her father, and for some reason wants a relationship with a sister she's never met or whatever else. And him, instead of being serious about this whole fucking thing, decides that he don't support that lifestyle or whatever, so he's not going to walk her down the aisle, and he's not going to allow this woman's wife to enter his house and shit like that. Like I said, you should always make exceptions for your children. I don't care what lifestyle you don't support or whatever else. If your child was gay, lesbian, trans, whatever, make an exception for your child. If you don't feel that same way about other people who you're not related to, who you don't give a fuck about, fine. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, if it was me, I would support my daughter. My daughter, well, you know what I'm saying, wants me to walk her down the aisle, I'll walk her down the aisle. Her and her future wife are allowed in my house. That's cool. Y'all could be around me, y'all could be around my house, whatever else, cool. Everybody else can get these slurs, you know what I'm saying? But not my daughter and not my daughter's wife. You should make exceptions for your children. That's your child. Like I said, this man being weird and everything else, and people like him are usually the type who are the exact opposite of whatever they profess. Like I said, there's a lot of people out there who are vegans, who eat meat. There are a lot of women who are professed feminists, who are out there man-hating feminists or whatever else, getting their back blown out by a man who's a misogynist. All that type of shit. There's priests out there talking about pray the gay away and how much they hate LGBTQ. The whole time they getting their back blown out by another man. So it's not surprised that there are hoteps out there dating white women, or hoteps out there who are having multiple kids by multiple baby mamas, talking about the black nuclear family. Not surprising at all. Shit happens all the time. Next thing, ladies and gentlemen, we talked about $10 million, and if you gave it to the average person, would they go ahead and blow through that? I said to me, there's probably a small amount of people who would blow through that money and go back to them. I think most people have been getting by on whatever they've been getting by on. For example, $40,000 a year, $50,000 a year, whatever you're getting by on, whatever else. That they came across a lot amount of money, they just want to be free of going to work every day. So they're going to penny pinch off that money and coast off that money for the rest of their life. They're not going to blow through $10 million or $100 million or whatever they win in the lottery or whatever it may be. So most people are going to be responsible with that shit. They get $10 million, that $10 million is going to last a long time. There's no reason why anybody with $10 million will blow through that shit in a year or two. I wouldn't. Let me get $10 million and I promise you I will be on that $10 million forever. So, yeah. Next thing, ladies and gentlemen, staying in a child's place. A man had a meeting. He was clearly in a room. He had a bunch of like middle school kids, and he had like the board up, and he was showing them statistics and stuff about being a child and adulthood and everything else, and how much he would not rate adulthood. I'm assuming this is a classroom. But basically, I think all adults should basically do the same fucking thing. We need to let children know as much as possible to stay in a child's place and avoid being an adult as long as possible until you have to be an adult. There's no reason why you should prioritize being an adult over being a child. Like he said, you get to be a child for 17 years of your life. You are an adult for 70 years of your life. You'll be dealing with that for the rest of your fucking life. There's no reason why you need to like grow up and be doing adult shit, whatever. You will be dealing with being an adult for the rest of your life. So I think that's what we need to be doing, is having whole TED Talks. We need to be having meetings. We need to be having books written about how much adulting sucks. And we do that type of thing just to let these constant young children know, hey, this is what to expect when you become an adult. Enjoy being a child. At a certain point, this is what you got waiting for you when you become an adult. We need to rate adulting and be like, hey, we rate adult from 1 to 5 stars. Being an adult is 1 star, or whatever your rating is for being an adult. You know what I'm saying? Most people are not favorable.
Definitely 1 star.
They're not cool with being an adult. You know what I'm saying? Like the average person right now, if you ask them, hey, if you could just go back to being in a child's place for 1 year, would you do it? Yeah, most people would. Most people are like, yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, transport me back to when I was 14.
Hell yeah.
I would definitely go be 14 to stay in a child's place. Being an adult sucks. Being an adult sucks. Next thing, ladies and gentlemen, talks of segregation. Black people are cool with segregation. You know what I'm saying? Y'all president wants to go ahead and bring segregation back for federal workers, but also on, I guess, a statewide level or a countrywide level. People are cool with that. Black people are cool with that. We're like, yeah, bring it back, because basically we've been segregated the whole time anyways. But also, at the same time, we're just kind of like, we want open racism because we're tired of y'all just playing games with us, playing in our fucking face. We would rather like to know where the racism is.
Put the signs back up.
Put the signs up, say white only or whatever your little racial thing is, whatever else. We'll avoid that shit. We'll stay away from y'all. We won't fuck with y'all at all anyway. Don't want y'all pretending like y'all not racist while doing racist shit. That's fucking dumb. Next thing, ladies and gentlemen, we talked about Oklahoma teacher who has a problem with a black kid wearing a Black King t-shirt or whatever and said, well, what if we had White History Month? What if I came in here with a White Queen t-shirt? Shut the entire fuck up. Like 10 times out of 10, whenever black people are doing something to some white person, like it's usually a white woman going, what if white people did this and what if white people did that? Go do it. You've been doing it. Bitch. You've done it before. You want to wear, you know what I'm saying, White Queen t-shirt, you want to start your White History Month?
Wear whatever the fuck you want.
Do it. We don't care. We're not. What we're doing has nothing to do with what you want to do. Go do it. Go start a White History Month, whatever the fuck you want to do. I just think that's horrible that y'all do that to that kid, though. That kid, that shirt was about his self-esteem. When you see black people wearing a shirt like that, that's about their self-esteem. You want to wear a t-shirt, jersey, hat, whatever it says King, whatever else. That's us. I just don't understand why that triggers y'all so much. Y'all be like, what if I did it? Go fucking do it. Show up tomorrow with a White Queen t-shirt on. Go do it. Go kick off White History Month or whatever the fuck y'all want to do. But every time y'all see black people doing something for us, y'all are just like, oh, that bothers me somehow. What if we did that? Go do it. Next thing, ladies and gentlemen, where are your manners at? Constant content on the internet about white people, more specifically white women, not having any fucking man. Y'all bump your carts into us at the store, you reach into our carts, you reach over us. You do all types of rude ass shit. And then you're carrying shit. And then when black people, we cuss you out and bop you upside your fucking head, you look at us crazy like, oh, what'd you do that for? You look at us like we're being the aggressor and everything else. You will play the victim real quick, call for the police and act like we're doing something wrong. The whole time you were being rude, disrespectful, reaching over us, grabbing our items, all sorts of shit, stupid shit. I hope more of y'all get bopped upside the head. Next thing, ladies and gentlemen, dear black people, there have been white people saying that they don't understand how we manage to get along with them. And we don't.
We don't.
I gave examples of how there are white people since the election. Because I know during the election time and everything, there are white people saying that they just don't like other white people. They're making videos saying, look, I don't know how y'all tolerate us. I don't even like white people. And I've seen quite a few of these videos. But I gave the examples of how sometimes white people are just sick and tired of other white people. They're sick and tired of bigotry. They're sick and tired of the ignorance, the stupidity, all this type of shit. And I gave the examples of numerous times that it's been caught on videotape of some white person socking the shit out of the white people or cussing them clean the fuck out because they're just being racist, bigot, being a homophobe, whatever it may be. And, you know what I'm saying, white people are like, we're tired of that shit. We can't go nowhere and have a good time without one of these white people doing crazy shit. And then people of color look at all white people like y'all all are like that. Y'all have to stand out and say, no,
if you don't
it's not
say
us.
Something.
It's that guy right there. It's not us. It's that woman over there. You know what I'm saying? White people, y'all have to stand out. Y'all have to be the ones who cuss this person out. Y'all have to be the one that checks that person. You have to be like, hey, that's not me. That we're not with that person. And you know what I'm saying? And do the work of checking that person or, you know what I'm saying, or escorting that person out. And there have been videos of that too. Like I said, of the woman at the hotel. Walk past her being racist to a black person, slap the shit out of her. Ooh. Nobody asked her to do it. Glad you did, though. Or the white guy at the restaurant who cussed that white man out. But, ladies and gentlemen, that has been my show. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like y'all all to like, comment, share, subscribe. Check out my YouTube page, ladies and gentlemen. Subscribe to that, ladies and gentlemen. That has been my show, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all all can contact me at doomstark7@gmail.com.
The Red Room.
Trust more than Donald Trump.
Nick Cannon pull-out game.
Gas station sushi.
A Diddy party, y'all. Baby oil edition.
A Casey Anthony daycare.
Food in an Atlanta restaurant when I walk in and I see nothing but grass walls and hookah.
Potato salad with raisins and a 2-day leftover. Not once refrigerated. Burger King chicken nuggets.
A shark with a pet me sign.
Stevie Wonder in the driver's seat.
A family vacation to a theme park on Epstein Island.